Hey everyone, good morning or good evening whenever you're watching this. I'd like to spend just a little bit of time moving and breathing. This is a feminine form yoga class. What does that mean? So today we're going to do a little bit more watery movements, a little bit more dancer inspired movements. So this is for women. It's also for people who just want to tap into their feminine side. So if you have a very rigid schedule and you need to just let go a little bit, this is a really nice way to do that. We're just coming off of the full moon in Capricorn yesterday. It actually felt pretty peaceful for a full moon. I don't know if you guys felt that, so I was grateful for that. And today it's actually a little bit cooler than it has been. We've had a heat wave, and this morning it's quite cool, so it feels nice. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna start sitting. I'm gonna sit on my heels in hero's pose. You could sit on a block, you could just sit on your sit bones or a pillow, and we'll just start with a little bit of quiet, a little bit of stillness before we start to really expand and move. So if it feels comfortable for you, go ahead and close the eyes. And just start to lengthen and deepen your breath. As you're here, notice the sounds around you, whether you're outside and you hear the birds, or maybe you're inside, you hear an air conditioning unit, or maybe some background noise. Just go ahead and notice what's around you in this moment, here and now. And for a moment, I'd like for you to just witness and acknowledge the fact that you're safe in this moment, that you have this ability to carve out time for yourself, to take care of your body. And I'd like for you to have a very curious mind as we move through these practices today. And if you have an intention, you could set that now. Otherwise, just being here is enough. So taking a long, deep breath in, hold the breath at the top just for a moment. Exhale, release. Beautiful. So we're going to stay here. If you're not sitting on your heels yet, you can sit on your heels. We're going to curl the toes underneath. Bringing the hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra, just feeling the palms pressing toward each other, that pulsing heartbeat. On the inhale, we're going to come up to the knees, stretch up nice and tall, breathe, exhale, draw it in, twice more like that. Inhale, lift and reach, opening the chest. Exhale, back down, draw it in. Last time, inhale. And exhale, child's pose. Separate the knees wide, sit on your heels, and then reach the arms forward. If this is a little too much, you can just keep the hips up instead, puppy dog pose, and reach forward. Just a few breaths here. See if you can soften the brow, soften your skull, soften your jaw here. This gesture of reverence to the earth. Knowing that we're here on this earth for a journey, for lessons, for experiences, joys and heartbreaks. And so we get to surrender to it all, to whatever experience you're having in the moment. Let's take 3 breaths here into the back body. And then start to climb the hands back toward the knees. One more time, lift it up, inhale, reach. And back down, exhale. All right, hands and knees. We're going to start to use the hips a little bit. We're going to be using the hips more today. And almost like you're stirring a cauldron, really start to create maybe big to little hip circles. I'm kind of drawing a big circle here with my hips. And then just letting that head and neck go as well. Maybe getting a little bit bigger as you keep going, kind of getting the arms involved. Keep that navel drawing in unless you are pregnant or menstruating. And then we'll switch the direction. Kind of feeling that spiral. And so some people see things in a linear way, point A to point B, but really life is much more of a spiral. Let's do a few cat-cows here. Inhale, reach the heart forward. Exhale, round it in. And then just keep going on your own pace a few times. Spread your fingers really wide, pressing into the finger pads so that you're not jamming into your wrists. And as you do this cat-cow, maybe make it a little bit more watery, almost like the wave is moving through my spine. Feel free to get creative here. Just a couple more rounds, just again, opening up the spine, helping the fluid start to pump. And then coming into downward facing dog, press it back. This first one, I always like to keep my knees bent. Pedal out through the legs, drop the head. A few breaths here. All right, we're going to move through a little bit of a flow here in a second. So bend your knees, look forward. Either take a step or a little hop to the top of your mat. On the inhale, we're going to reach the arms wide. The navel is engaged, flat spine. So instead of bringing the hands to the shins, we're reaching out like an airplane. Exhale, fold forward. Twice more. Really use the cervical spine here. Inhale, rippling. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach. And exhale, slowly come on up. And we're going to do side dancer on both sides. So it's going to look like this. Okay. So I'm going to grab my left wrist, step into the right foot, bring that left foot off the mat, and then reach up and over. So it's kind of a dancer pose. It feels really nice. It's a really nice side opener here. And then send that breath to the calf muscle, the Achilles tendon, the side body, the ribs, the neck, the shoulders. Feel that opening. Exhale, we're going to bow forward, sending both hips back. A couple more times. Inhale, side angle, side dancer. Exhale, press it back. Both hips draw backward. Last time. And as you fold, we have our knees bent this whole time here. Step it up. Inhale. Other side. Exhale. Right foot comes off the mat. Bend your knees. Grab your right wrist. And then lift up and over toward the left. And I'm kind of just spiraling my heart, my sternum up toward the sky. Feeling that deep stretch here. And then exhale, bow it forward. Inhale, side angle lunge. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach. And exhale. All right, now we're going to step out wide. Goddess squat. So coming on in here. So place the hands wherever they feel natural. Maybe they feel good in front of the heart, maybe on the thighs, maybe out cactus shape, goddess mudra. And then start to really sink a little bit lower, deeper into the thighs and the hips. Great. And I'm just gonna stretch the shoulders. And so with this feminine flow, obviously it's gonna feel different in every body. And so these are just guidelines. If you wanna do something even more with more flair, go ahead. If you wanna maybe not do as much, that's fine too. And then inhale, reach it up. We're gonna bring the arms to a cross. Come on down. Inhale, arms go out wide. Reach, reach, reach. Open, open, open. Spin the toes in, and then exhale, fold forward. You can use your blocks here or just drop all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward twice more. And feeling that ripple through the spine. Downward facing dog, twist to the front of your mat. Inhale, ripple forward to plank. Exhale, drop your knees. Come all the way down. Lift up, baby cobra. Just the collarbones expand wide. Light on the hands. Exhale, child's pose. So another thing with feminine, or if you don't like that word, yin energy, is it's a lot softer. There's a lot softer lines. So this is a good practice to take that rest if you need. Slowly drag the upper body all the way back up. Inhale, stand on the knees and lift and reach. Exhale, draw it back in. Okay, we're gonna step the right foot outside of the mat, coming into lizard lunge. Let your toes really spin outward to about 45 degrees. Let the foot go wide, right? We wanna create a lot of space for the hips here. Some of you may not be able to go down very far. You could be up here, maybe you're down here. So we're gonna flow from here. Inhale, twist. So your hand is kind of above that knee and you're pressing away from the leg for a nice little opening. And then exhale, we're sending the hips back and then lengthening that front leg. So keep going here. Inhale, open and twist. Feel that expansion, the energy that comes in through the inhale. And then exhale, that letting go, that softening and surrender on the exhale. And then just keep going with your breath. Inhale forward, open, and exhale, bring it back. Just gonna do a couple more rounds here. Feel free to close the eyes. This really helps you tune in more to your body sensations without visual distractions. Beautiful. We're gonna pause at that lizard. So some of you might just stay here. You could stay in the twist. Now, if you want to get a quadricep stretch, we're gonna grab the back foot and make sure you are not on the kneecap. So I'm above the kneecap. So again, this is just optional. If you wanna play around, I've got my foot here. I'm gonna press my foot into my hand to open the chest. It's a deep stretch for the quad. Great, and then exhale, release. From here, I'm gonna come into pyramid pose. So again, you can have your blocks on either side of that front foot. I just don't have any with me right now. And let's actually come all the way up to standing. Bring the right hand behind the back. My feet are about hip width, maybe a little bit wider here. Square the hips forward. Inhale, reach it up. Draw that energy all the way up through the front of the sternum. And then using your core, exhale, flat spine halfway. My front knee is soft here. I'm not locking it out. Inhale, lift and reach. Exhale, fold halfway, maybe a little bit lower than last time. Inhale, lift it up and reach. Exhale, let's come all the way down this time. I'm gonna inhale, lift and reach. Exhale, fold. Now from here, I'm gonna show you guys your angle, and I'm gonna flip around so you can see me. We're gonna come into Skandasana. So you're gonna bend that right leg like this. I'm gonna flip around so you can see me. So that right knee is bent. I'm in a high Skandasana. I'm gonna reach the right arm up. And then the other side. Left leg bends, left arm reaches up, and then keep going like that. So this is kind of what I mean by a more fluid, dynamic, feminine flow. Is just like a river, it keeps moving and changing. So we're kind of channeling that energy, creating just that little bit of a spark. So we don't want a blazing fire. We kind of want to have that contained fire. Let's do one more on each side. Great. All right, the time you're at the left leg, come on in to your dog. So we're gonna spin forward, downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple the spine forward, plank. Exhale, lower down. This time let's do it 3 rounds. Inhale, lift. You should be able to lift your hands, press the toes down. Exhale, forehead melts. Inhale, and if you want to get a little bit higher each time, that's fine. Woo. And down. Last one, inhale, lift and reach. Just for a breath, exhale, child's pose. Surrender to the earth. Coming back to hands and knees. Lift that left leg back and then step it out. So we're doing our second side now of that lunge. So notice again, I say this so much because in my in-person classes, I see people do this in the lunge, and kind of that lizard lunge. It's about the hips, so we really want to let yourself bring that foot out. All right, from here, open it up. Inhale. Exhale, Ardha Hanumanasana with that leg a little bit out. Keep moving and flowing in your own pace. So it may look a little different than my pace. The most important thing is you're finding what your own flow feels like in your body. Starting to notice the pattern in your body and where you want it to shift to. Keep going. Feel that breath rippling upward on that inhale and then coming back down the spine on the exhale. One more time here. All right, and then bending that knee, either stay here or twist. I just realized we didn't do the fold with the twist, but we'll do it here. So either stay here or pick up the back foot. So again, I'm not on my kneecap. And then I'm letting that foot kind of be a lever to open up the chest more. And release, Skandasana one more time. Bending the right knee, lifting the arm up, and then just go side to side. For this one, you could either stay up like we did before. Some of you, if you want to go farther down, you could do that as well. So lifting like this. Don't push it. Just meet your body where your body's at today. Don't be, it's common to feel frustrated with our bodies. The best thing we can do is just give it what it needs. Right? And then we'll meet in the middle, forward fold, spin the toes, and then interlace the hands behind you, either on the sacrum or up and over. Slowly roll on up, step to the top of your mat. Let's do a full little flow here. Inhale, reach the arms up. Feel that expansion, almost drawing the earth up. And then exhale, fall down toward the earth. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, plank. And then flow, whatever that is for you. Maybe chaturanga, halfway down or coming all the way down. Inhale, lift and reach. Let's do puppy dog pose. So just like child's pose, except the hips are staying up. This is a really good pose for digestive distress. Really good way to kind of help things move along in the digestive tract. Notice the pace of your breath and your heart rate, the temperature. And then bring the hands back. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, draw it in. And then come on up to standing. All right. Let's come into eagle chair pose. So this is a little bit of a balance. You're gonna place the hands on the hips, root down through the left foot, and then pick something ahead of you that's not moving. That's gonna be your focal point to help you balance. Really important in yoga. If you're a dancer, you know this. So we call this dristi, which means gazing point, where you're putting your attention on. Right, so we're practicing these physical things in yoga so we could take these principles off the mat in life. So really having that clear focus. Go ahead and lift the right leg. And then we're gonna wrap it around. So some of you, if you've got balance stuff, you could just keep the right toes down. Either way, squeeze the inner thighs together, okay? Squeeze the inner thighs together. And then the right arm is gonna come under the left arm. So you could wrap it all the way into eagle. Some of you, maybe just give yourself a hug. Either way, squeeze it all in. And so that central line through the body, that's called the Sushumna in yoga. And it's this combination, this meeting point of the left and the right sides of the body, the yin and the yang, feminine, masculine, night and day. Right, we want to find that balance. That's what yoga is all about, finding that union. Squeeze it all in, press forward, come down a little bit more. And then inhale, lift the right leg up. Step it all the way back, high lunge. We're gonna flow here. Reach it up, cactus the arms, bend the back knee. Exhale, shift forward. So you could see me struggling a little bit with my balance. Just know it's normal. It's good to practice this. Exhale back. One more time, inhale. Lift, almost like you're drinking it in. Exhale, release. And then we're gonna step it into Malasana squat. So the toes come out, heels are in. Some of you, halfway down is great. Others come all the way down. If the heels are lifted and you need a little bit of support, you could roll a blanket and place it under the heels. We'll just be here for a couple breaths. And then spin the toes forward, slowly roll up. We're gonna do the other side. Okay. Hands on hips, balance on that right foot. Dristi is really tuned in, fine tuned in, right? So I got my gaze, I got my balance. Wrap that left leg around the right leg. And then start to take a squat. Arms come out, left arm underneath the right. Wrap. So I'm gonna get a little bit low and buoyant here in my pose. Focusing, 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 and then squeezing into that midline. Especially when we're in these more difficult poses, really bring the breath in for ease. knowing this is temporary and it's important to challenge ourselves. Great. Inhale, lift the left leg, step it back, high lunge. Same thing as before. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, send it back. A couple more times. Inhale. You can play around here. If you really want more activity, some of you can even come into warrior 3 here when we press it back. All right, and then just allow the hands to kind of fall down a little bit. We're gonna step out and just move the hips in a circle. It's almost like you're drawing a circle on the ground with your hips. Make it nice and slow. And then switch your direction. Back to goddess squat. Reach it out. Lean to one side, up and over. Down to the other side, up and over. So we're just going to create this big circle here. Maybe let that neck get involved, getting a little bit of a neck stretch. Other side. Beautiful. And then let's bring it down to the mat. So you can either just sit right down if you want more balanced practice. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, start to squat down, and as you get further enough down, start to lift the heels. Woo. Come on to balance on the heels, press the thighs forward, pause here. And so the feminine is also about being composed and graceful in the midst of challenge, right? Being able to dance around these challenges. And then come on down. Just like we did before. One more time. Inhale, lift and reach. Exhale down. This time, opportunity for a back bend. So option 1, curl your toes. This is a prep for camel. So if you're here, squeeze your pelvis, press it forward, elbows squeeze together and reach back. So this is option 1. Option 2 is to reach for the heels for full camel. Whatever you choose, be there for 5 rounds of breath. Chin comes in and then set on down. Beautiful. Twist. Bend the left knee and cross. Reach the left arm all the way up and over. Hug the knee toward your chest. Flex the extended leg. Press the left toe down so we're really firm here. And then gently twist. Softening your gaze or closing your eyes. Other side. Bend the right knee. Cross over the left leg. Flex the left foot. Spiral the right arm up and over. Sometimes instructing feels like Simon Says. And then hug that knee in. Soften your shoulders, soften your gaze. Beautiful. Slowly unwind. Come on to Sukhasana, seated position. Just going to do a few spirals of the spine. So I'm not leading with my shoulders, I'm leading with my torso. Kind of scraping the batter of the bowl. Really wide. Switch your direction. Inhale, reach up the arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll close here today. And so I'm going to come sitting on my heels again. You could just stay cross-legged. I just like this because it kind of gives your spine an adjustment, a nice alignment. Let's find a little bit of stillness after all the churning and all the swirling we did. See if you could find that central point. You might feel the need to want to move more after this, and I encourage you to do that. Find that still, steady point, Sushumna, that central axis. Take 3 breaths into that still point. Beautiful. We'll close by just sealing our practice with some golden light, just protective light around your aura, around your being, lifting the arms, circling it up, and exhale. Thank you so much for joining me. If you liked this style, let me know, and I can provide a lot more of this. Thanks so much for joining. I usually release a class every week, so I'll see you next time.